If you're from Appalachia, you've undoubtedly heard of, or maybe even seen, the cryptid known as the knot deer. But is the knot deer truly a paranormal entity, or something far more terrifying? So what is the knot deer? Well, simply put, it's a deer that's not quite a deer. According to many, the knot deer is some type of shape-shifting paranormal entity that, when seen, may have more than two eyes, a head, or limbs that might be on backwards. It may have extra limbs, and it may have a mouth that is more like that of a dog or a wolf than that of a deer. Many also believe the knot deer engages in behavior that they believe not to be natural for a deer, such as standing on or walking on two legs, or consuming meat. Thanks to the internet, it's quite common for people to believe that it isn't natural for a deer to stand or walk on two legs. But this is absolutely false, as deer frequently stand on two legs to reach food, as well as to defend themselves. This is especially true of female deer defending their young. It's also assumed that a deer will never ever consume flesh, as they are herbivores after all. However, this is also not true, as deer will occasionally eat meat or chew bones to supplement their diet, especially in the wintertime when food is scarce. They've been known to eat birds, small rodents, eggs, and at a forensic research facility in Texas known as the Body Farm, they've even been seen and photographed chewing on the bones of human beings. Revenge for Bambi's mother. Now, I am of the opinion that most, if not all, knot deer sightings are in fact natural deer with natural diseases that can cause changes to their behavior as well as their physical appearance. While there are several of these diseases, the two most common seem to be EHD, also known as blue tongue, and the infamous prion disease known as chronic wasting disease, or CWD. Chronic wasting disease is terrifying, and thanks to celebrities like Joe Rogan, it's a disease that more people are becoming familiar with. The disease is caused by prions, which are misfolded proteins that an animal can come into contact with through the feces or urine or saliva or blood from an infected animal. These misfolded proteins can cause perfectly normal protein in the animal's brain to also misfold, creating holes in the deer's brain. Symptoms of CWD include massive weight loss, lack of fear of people, stumbling, and very abnormal behavior such as running into walls or trees, leading some to call deer infected with this disease zombie deer. At this point, there is no treatment for chronic wasting disease, and to contract it is a death sentence. Now, it is true that CWD is very scary, but I am of the opinion that the overwhelming majority of these not deer sightings are actually deer suffering from EHD, also known as blue tongue. Unlike CWD, EHD is caused by a virus that a deer contracts after being bitten by an infected midge fly. EHD is a bit more common than chronic wasting disease, but like CWD, it affects both the physical appearance and the behavior of an infected animal. Symptoms include swelling of the neck and of the tongue, causing a deer to run around with its mouth slung open. It may also hemorrhage from both its mouth, its ears, and its eyes. Deer infected with EHD may also engage in very strange behavior, such as losing their fear of humans entirely, and most famously running around endlessly in circles. Additionally, many deer that have died from EHD are found in water, leading many to assume that they drowned themselves. But in fact, they seek out the water to help combat the effects of having a high fever. Now, unlike chronic wasting disease, EHD is not necessarily a death sentence for the deer, as they do have around a 10% chance of survival. Now, both of these unfortunate diseases, particularly chronic wasting disease, began to become prevalent in the American deer population toward the latter half of the 20th century. So it is no surprise to me that people, particularly in urban or extremely rural communities, aren't familiar with them or their effects, leading many to believe that a perfectly natural deer suffering from a natural disease is in fact some kind of monster. Or perhaps there really is some type of shape-shifting, three-eyed deer monster out there, waiting to consume the flesh of its unwary victims. Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the paranormal, the weird, and the queer. Memento mori, memento vivere.